welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and I think it's flu bug season.
It is. It is.
How fun is that?
'Tis the season that all of the people are sick.
Well, and tis the season for our children's Christmas play. So we are around, 25 little coughing, snotting.
Yes. Very loud coughing kids that are carrying around boxes of Kleenexes and just
I'm one of them today.
Sickly. Yeah. My kids have been sick all weekend.
Yeah.
And it was a long weekend because this past weekend, Monday
Yeah.
was Veterans Day, which we're filming this on Tuesday. So my kids had a long weekend to recover, and I was really hoping it would all be done by now, but it is unfortunately not.
Nope. Yep. I got a little bug. I was tired yesterday. Had a kid, it was like one of those that got up, did what I always do, piddle, go, do this. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like, whew, I'm tired. About 1:30, ooh, I'm cold. About 2 o'clock, I got some. I mean, it is just unreal. So then Mac and Paige got home about 4:45. I went home, took a shot of a NyQuil, and I didn't rise till this morning at 7.
Well, the sleep probably did you good.
Yeah, but it's just crazy. I don't understand how it can just.
Yeah, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Yep, for sure.
And I'm a vitamin taker. I take all those vitamins and do everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I get worn down, though. If I get tired, I get worn down. We've been busy. There's a lot of stuff going on with Radiothon was last week.
Yeah, I heard that went well.
Yeah, Moonlight Madness. And then, we went somewhere on Saturday. We'll talk about that in another episode. But, just busy.
Yeah, all of the fun fallish winter things are happening. Like next up will be the Chris Kindle Market.
Yes.
I always enjoyed that. I think that's fun.
I like it, too.
I feel like our little town of Flora feels like a Hallmark Christmas movie during that weekend.
Yeah, and they're moving all that stuff over to Library Park this year.
I think that'll be better, actually.
I think I'm going to like it over there because you got Library Park decorated. Apparently, City of Flora has bought a bunch of new
that's what I heard.
So that'll be nice. And then, right there on North Main, right there in front of the old Vaughn's building, that'll be shut down I think I'm going to like it there.
I think I will,
then
too.
You still have the foot traffic of downtown. I think instead of just crowding it all right there, it kind of...
Do we know the dates for that? People are probably wondering. I'm not sure because I'm not involved with that.
I'm not sure
I think it's
either.
the second weekend of December usually, I believe.
Well, is this running weird too, like normal? Like
I don't know. I feel like the calendar falls weird. So I do know that our Christmas play at Nostalgia Theater, the children's Christmas play, is December 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
That's a Saturday and a Sunday. So it's a Saturday evening and a Sunday at 3.
Yeah, because I think like December 1st is like on a Sunday. It's weird because it's like, so does that count as a weekend?
Yeah, I don't know.
So would that, if no, because Sunday's actually the beginning of a new week. Sunday's the beginning of the week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But it just makes it later. Yeah. So it's the weekend after ours.
Okay.
So it would be the 14th and 15th.
14th and 15th would be Chris
I'm
Kittle.
sorry. 13th and 14th. It's Friday and Saturday night.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Anyway, check the paper, check Facebook. I'm sure it's out there.
It's going to be nice.
We're not involved with that event, but we do love attending it.
That's
for
not
sure.
my baby, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's kind of a weird because like I don't like Monday or the first falling on a Sunday. I've decided that.
Yeah, it makes things weird because like Thanksgiving this year is really late. It's just like the 28th, I think.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, it's the beginning of December.
Right.
And so
you lose that week because you feel like it's going to be.
Yeah. So like one side of Jason's family, they always have their Christmas the first weekend in December, which is now going to be on December the 1st, I believe. And Thanksgiving's just two days in before that, which we don't do Thanksgiving with that side of the family, but we're going to have Thanksgiving meal. There's just going to be a lot of eating going on like that weekend.
Yeah.
It's like Thanksgiving and then a Christmas. And then and in between there, we have an anniversary party. There's just different things going on. And it's like, wow.
Now, does your family do like your mom and stuff? Do you guys do it? How do you guys do Christmas? When does she do hers?
We do it on Christmas morning. We have breakfast with my mom and dad, and then typically we have Christmas Eve with Jason's family. But last year we moved it to like the Saturday. I think it was the Saturday before Christmas, and it worked out really well because Jason and I like to help at our church's Christmas Eve dinner, which is coming up. So that's something to mention. The First Christian Church in Flora does a Christmas Eve meal every year. It's free. It's for anybody. It's not based on need or anything. It's for anybody that would like to have a meal on Christmas Eve, and it is really good food, and it's all home cooked and made by the church family. And then you can get it to go, or it can be delivered,
Right.
or we have a drive-through. Contact First Christian Church at 618-662. What's their number? What's your shop number?
7606.
So there's a 7626.
Yeah, it's the little
662-7626. They're open Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, and with that though, and then the other thing about the First Christian Church is we give away a ton of toys.
Yes,
we give
that's
stuff
true.
away.
My
trunk's full of stuff right now. I got to take drop.
If
by
you
them
have
when we get
kids,
done.
bring the kids. They get presents, and it's just a really nice thing for the community. And again, it's for anyone. So I know they feed more and more people every year, and we love it. But anyway, my point is that I like to help with that, and so does Jason.
Yeah.
And so this year we may do our Christmas again on a different day instead of Christmas Eve, just so we can help with that.
But this is your first Christmas with a married daughter.
It is.
So how's that working out for you?
It hasn't changed. It is. She will still be there on Christmas morning, and she will still go to her grandma's on Christmas morning for breakfast, because that is what she likes to do. And she is married to a police officer who, more likely than not, is probably going to be working that day anyway. Yeah. So we may have to catch up with him at a different time. But Malia will at least come home.
It's we always did like Christmas. We started because we have all my nieces and Travis and Lexi, and then Matt Connor. Everybody's married or got a significant other, and it's just now it's just hard. So I'm just kind of like, well, when can you come? We're actually not doing Christmas till the 30th.
Oh.
Yeah, we do it afterwards just because get everybody there, and I don't know, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, that's nice that you're flexible.
I'm
not.
flexible.
I'm not really. I'm like, Christmas is Christmas morning.
That'll change.
I know it'll change when they all have kids.
It'll change when Silas gets married too.
Yeah.
The girls won't change much, but when Silas gets married, it'll change.
Well, I got a long way until that happens.
Yeah, a long way before that happens, so that's good.
Good thing.
Now I'm flexible. I don't really care.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I could be flexible too.
That make me
like to kid.
Yeah, and Connor this year, him and Natalie, I think, are going to. He put a wrench into it because they're going to Chicago for New Year's Eve. So that's the 31st. But they're going up on the 30th. So I don't know. We may do it the 29th. I don't even know what's happening.
Oh gosh, Connor.
I don't even know what's happening with my life right now.
Oh shoot. Well, just go with the flow. That's a good.
Yeah. Oh, I don't
that's
care.
a really good way to look at it.
Whatever.
Because I think if everybody was more go with the flow, the world would be a happier place.
Yeah, it don't matter. Well, they'll get there if they get there, and if they don't make it, they don't make it. Whatever. Now, my grandmother was not like that. You were there. You were expected there, and there was no going back from it. My mom got real easy. My mom was super easygoing. Linda's super dying because we together. But it makes a difference too when your parents are gone. My mom's gone.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference. So, but me and my sister still get together with the nieces and nephews. We're going to keep carrying that on.
That's good.
And then I don't even know if we'll be doing anything for Christmas because everybody would come to my house for Christmas. I don't even know. I don't know where Michelle's at. She may be going up to Buffy. I don't even know what's happening.
Why don't you do something with that group like early? Like a lot of families do that where you get together like the beginning of December and then have like just a holiday. It kind of encompasses everything like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and just like
do it all.
Just one get together, have a meal, visit.
Yeah.
Everybody go home.
Everybody leave. Yeah, that could happen too. Or I might just Jim and I just enjoy Christmas Day with nobody around.
Yeah. That would be nice.
I'm down with that too. So I don't have, because honestly, when you host everything, and I always say you're on the move the day before, and I mean. Excuse me.
Why don't you go on a little trip? That'd be fun. I've always like played around with the idea of like what it would be like to not spend a Christmas at home. Like just load up the kids and like, we're going to the beach. We're having Christmas on the beach. I've never done that. I've kind of always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Nobody else in my family wants to do.
No, you would hate Christmas on the beach.
I probably would, but I think I would maybe like Christmas like in Vermont, like snowed in to a lodge.
That. Yes, you would, but then you might get snowed in. You never get back.
That'd be okay.
That would be okay.
Stay for a few weeks.
Well, somebody has to work, and somebody has to pay for the motel rooms. So.
True. Why is there always such a practicality to everything?
Well, if we were millionaires, if we were billionaires or millionaires, if we win the lottery. But if we win the lottery, can you imagine Christmas in Sailor Springs again if I win the lottery?
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yes.
Speaking of nice.
Okay,
this ad.
Okay, what do you got for us today?
Okay. It is a Diet Coke ad.
Oh, I love Coke
Okay,
ads.
but look at this. This is from
specific.
the 18. This is from the 18. Okay, go away thing. But look at this ad. Okay, it says the ideal brain tonic. Delightful summer and winter beverage. Specific for headache.
Okay.
Relieves mental and physical exhaustion. Coca-Cola.
I'm going to agree with that.
What is happening?
Yep. I think that it probably had cocaine in it. But
What was it made out of?
I think it really had cocaine in it in the beginning. I think
But
so.
that's probably bad, right?
Yeah, probably had a lot of addicts, but I don't know.
I am an addict.
I'm an addict too. I'm addicted to Coke.
I think it's still...
and I have a problem, but it's, the caffeine does help a headache.
Oh, it does. I love my caffeine.
And it does relieve physical and mental exhaustion.
Okay, so this...
It is delightful
Ty,
in the
put
summer.
that back up just real quick. Okay, what I love about this...
Uh-huh.
What I love about this, the 1890s is when this was taken, this Coca-Cola ad. I love the fact that she's not stick thin.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the 1890s.
She's not stick thin because she's drinking a lot of Coke.
And they probably didn't have Diet Coke then.
No.
Yeah, I love it. She's just sitting there with her... Yeah,
and I like that she has a saucer with her Coke.
Oh, yeah, that's a coffee cup with a Coke.
Raise your hand if you drink your Coke using a cup and saucer.
If you come across that, I need that. All right, thank you, Ty.
Yeah, that's super cute.
Yeah, I love that ad, but I'm like, what? Brain tonic? You're right, it is. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not addicted to all Diet Coke, certain Diet Cokes. I am addicted to this little baby. This is the Diet Coke that I love. Now, if I'm traveling, I'm probably going to, or going anywhere else where there's fountain stuff, probably going to get Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh, really?
But the Dairy Queen Diet Coke is by far the best. McDonald's has got a good Diet Coke, too.
Okay.
But
yeah, I don't drink Diet Coke, but I drink Coke. And I can tell different places. It's
different.
It's like 3 different drinks, really.
They all taste different.
You can have Coke in a can. That's a completely different thing. Then Coke in a bottle. That's another. That's a whole other thing. A McDonald's Coke is completely different from a Dairy Queen Coke. I think you could do a taste. I could do a blind taste test where you could pour Coke from different places and different types of containers into cups, and then give them to me, and I could tell you where that came from.
I could probably do that too with Diet Coke. Yeah, because even and I think it's different with. I'm not a Pepsi drinker. Pepsi's Pepsi, but I think it's really true with Diet Coke. But you don't drink diet sodas. Yeah, I'm a diet drinker. I love it.
No.
But if I'm traveling, I'm probably going to get Diet Mountain Dew.
I have a problem with the aspartame that's in the diet sodas.
Yeah,
it doesn't mix well with me.
With all your ales.
Yes. So I just steer clear of that one.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a commercial break. And what are we going to come back with? Something interesting?
Yes. I have some very interesting women to talk about. Strong, amazing women.
I bet they had grit.
And gumption.
You betcha.
They had a lot.
Okay. Well, we'll be right back after this commercial message.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We have an interesting show planned today. I'm going to talk to you about a few really strong women with incredible stories. They're not local women. These are just random stories that I've came across in my research, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. More people need to know this story. And so I've just kind of been collecting some little side stories that aren't local, but that's okay, because sometimes we just talk about what we want
just
to talk
like
about.
history all the time.
That's right. So I'm going to start off with this woman named Mary Ann Brown Patton. Okay.
Okay.
She was born in 1837 and she passed away in 1861. So what makes her special is that she was the first female commander of an American merchant vessel, of a ship. Okay. First female captain of a ship all the way back in the 1800s. Okay. So here's the story. She was the wife of a man named Joshua Patton. Okay. Joshua and her were newly married and she was pregnant.
Okay.
And he got a job. Finally, he had been trying to find different boats to captain, and he got the job for this, to take this boat from Boston all the way down past South America and back up to San Francisco. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story of how all of this went down, but a little backstory on Mary Ann. She was born in Chelsea, Massachusetts, and her parents were George and Elizabeth Brown. Okay, so she got married to this Joshua Patton in Boston on April the 1st of 1853, just before her 16th birthday.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is the 1800s. I know they married young, but I have a 15-year-old daughter right now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no. So in 1855, that was just 2 years after they got married, Captain Patton was offered the command of a clipper ship named Neptune's Car. Okay, well, Joshua was sad. He didn't want to leave Mary Ann this early in their marriage, and the fact that she was pregnant, he didn't want to leave her. So he had the ship's owners grant special permission for her to accompany him, to go with him. Okay. Was it a great decision? I don't know. It's definitely a decision. Kids that feel like it'll never happen to me, everything will be fine kind of attitude. Like, I could see young people making this decision, but like, as an older adult, I would be like, no, don't take your pregnant wife on a ship around the world.
Ugh.
What could happen?
Can you imagine?
You know? Okay.
Ugh.
So, the ship departed from New York, actually, not Boston. They were from Boston, but the ship left New York for San Francisco on July the 1st, 1856. And they left with two other clipper ships at the same time. So 3 ships, not the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, but these 3 were traveling together. And they were the Intrepid, the Romance of the Seas, which I think is a fantastic name. Mm-hmm. And then the one that these 2 were on was called Neptune's Car. Okay. So speed was a big priority, and it was also common practice to place bets on which vessel you think was going to reach the destination first. Okay. So Neptune's Car, just keep in mind, there's people betting. It's more like it's a race. I mean, they're delivering goods to San Francisco, but it's also kind of a race. Okay, so Neptune's Car was at the foot of Cape Horn when Joshua Patton developed tuberculosis.
Ooh.
Whoa. Like, that's not good.
No.
So Cape Horn, just for those of you that aren't up on your geography, that's at the very bottom of South America. That's where they have to go all the way down and then back up to get to San Francisco, because at the time there was not a Panama Canal. You couldn't cut through.
Excuse me.
Okay, so when Joshua Patton developed tuberculosis, he lapsed into a coma.
Oh, boy.
So things just went from bad to worse. Okay, under usual circumstances, the first mate would take command. Like if the captain, for some reason, can't do his job, then that's what the first mate is. The first mate steps up.
That's what Gilligan does.
Yes. However, earlier in the voyage, Captain Patton had caught his first mate sleeping on watch and losing valuable time by leaving the sails reefed. Okay, I don't know sailing.
What's that mean?
I think he didn't do what he was supposed to with the sails. And remember that these were being bet on. There were bets placed on who was going to get there first.
Who's going to get there first?
So he was leaving the sails in a position they were not supposed to be in.
Right.
And So the captain, Patton, before he fell into a coma, had told his first mate, you are to stay in your cabin and not leave. Okay? So he had been confined to the his cabin. So there was no real first mate available. The second mate would be the next person in line after the first mate, but the second mate that they had hired was illiterate and unable to navigate, which is bad because so you think back about,
It's not like you got road signs out there.
right, and about how these
it's-
sailors, just think for a second
No.
about how sailors did it all through
No.
history, not just right here in the 1850s, but like all through history, like way back pirates in the 1600s. Like they used
You
the
would never
stars and they
That's
had
right.
to know their cardinal directions. They had to have a real strong sense of direction, and they had to be able, they had these maps and almost like blueprint type looking
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
There was a lot. I
It
mean,
was all that little, that little round thing,
yeah,
that little compass thing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Yeah, because like if you're going a straight line and then you just barely go this way, next thing you know.
well, right, and the waves push you around, and the wind. They had to be smart. Okay, you think about, they're uneducated. Well, whatever.
Oh, yeah,
they
they
might
know
not
what
have a degree from Yale, but they knew their trade.
right.
Okay, so they had the second mate that couldn't read. Okay, so all this time before Joshua Patton fell into a coma, his wife Mary had been visiting with him and keeping him company on the deck and helping and just sort of picking up stuff here and there. She was a smart woman, okay? So she was the most qualified person on the ship to take over when Joshua Patton fell ill, okay? And she's a 19-year-old woman.
19-year-old pregnant woman.
And not just kind of pregnant. She was 8 months pregnant.
On
So-
the high seas.
Yes. So when they left, he took his 8-month pregnant wife on this voyage, and they both thought it would be fine. Okay. So
No thanks.
no thanks. Okay. So
What would happen if the baby was born out in the sea?
I don't.
What's
I guess.
where were you
just-
born? In the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. I'm a citizen of all the countries.
I'm a citizen of everywhere. Wow.
Okay. So the former first mate, the one that's stuck in his cabin, writes a letter to Mary Patton, and he warns her of the challenges ahead and implores her to reinstate him. Please let me do it. I'll do it. Let me do it. I can do it. You're 8 months pregnant. You don't have to do this. Let me do it. She replied, and I don't know if I would have said this, but this is what she did. She replied that if her husband hadn't trusted him as a mate, she couldn't trust him as a captain. Maybe her gut feeling was like,
Right.
this guy's no good.
Right.
This guy's bad news.
Yeah.
Maybe that was her gut feeling. I don't know. I would have been like, oh, great, because I'm not real sure what I'm doing. But he could have been a real piece of work. And she was like, you stay in your room. You're creeping me out. Okay. So then the guy that's in the cabin, the first mate that not supposed to leave his cabin, he tried to incite a mutiny against the crew and against Marianne.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So everyone tried to convince her that they would be better off to just put into port near Valparaiso. I'm not real sure where that is. But instead of continuing on to San Francisco, basically they were saying, just pull over. Just pull over up here at this next port, and we'll find someone. We'll get Joshua to a hospital. We'll find somebody to take over getting this stuff to San Francisco. But she, again, was super smart, and she knew that if she put into a port in South America, that two things would happen. One, she would lose part of her crew because they would all disembark and they probably would go to work on another ship and not come back to hers. And quite possibly she would lose her cargo. It would all be stolen. And she had a deal with this company in San Francisco, or her husband really had the deal with San Francisco, and it was her job to get all of this stuff delivered, and she was taking it seriously. So she responded by making an appeal to the crew, and in the end, she won their unanimous support. Every single one of them decided to support her. So I don't know exactly what she said to them, but she convinced them all that she could do it. Hang in there. We're going to get to San Francisco. It's going to be fine. Patton later claimed she did not change her clothes for 50 days. 50 days.
Ugh.
And she was pregnant and sweaty and doing all this work, and she didn't change her clothes for 50 days.
Oh.
Instead, she dedicated her free time to studying medicine and caring for her husband. I guess there was books on board. I don't know. She was trying everything she could to figure out how to help him.
Wow.
And by this time, he had been struck blind by the fevers and all the things that he had going on. And she is credited with keeping him alive throughout the voyage, although he never fully recovered his health. Okay, so she kept him alive. They did arrive in San Francisco. And when they got there, they sent out a little tugboat or something to pilot her into the port, and she rejected that offer. And she instead took the helm herself, and she said, "No, I'll do it. Let me show you how to park a big old ship."
Yeah, she wasn't messing around.
She wasn't. She knew her stuff, man.
I
she
don't
didn't
need a Tinder.
Nope.
I'll get this baby in there myself.
That's right. And so she did. She parked it like a pro, and despite all of Neptune Car's tribulations, it still arrived in San Francisco, second place. It still beat the Intrepid.
Oh my gosh!
It still beat the Intrepid. The ship's insurers, apparently they have insurance.
Oh, wow.
The insurers recognized that Mary Patton had saved them thousands of dollars by not stopping at Valparaiso and getting it there, even though things on board were bad. And they rewarded her with $1,000. In 1857,
In 1857, that would
$1,000.
be a bunch of money.
A bunch of money.
I think it's a bunch now.
Yeah, in a letter responding to the gift, she wrote them a letter to thank them, and she said that she only did the plain duty of a wife. That was her quote. "I was just doing the plain duty of a wife." She was very humble.
Not me. I'd have been like, "You bet I parked this boat.
Yeah, I'd
you
be
bet
like,
I came in second.
I worked my butt off for that. Thank you.
It's 1857, and this woman did what she did. Are you kidding me right now?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, women aren't even voting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay, so
we gotta take
a break. Okay,
break,
I'll
and
tell
then
you the
we'll
rest of the
come
story
right
when we come back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're talking about strong women and in history.
My favorite stories when we talk about these ladies.
So today we're talking about Mary Ann Brown Patton and her amazing it's just an amazing story of how she took over for her husband.
Because she's been out there, she was 8 months pregnant, so she's got to be almost ready to birth this child.
Yes. But before she births this child, she has to go back to New York. So
You mean to tell me she didn't just stay in San Francisco?
No, that's what I'm getting ready to tell you. So not only did
This
she
woman's
finally
crazy.
not only did she make it back to San Francisco, deliver the goods, get her $1,000 reward, then she took Joshua, who's in a coma and blind and not doing well, and they got on to another ship. I can't remember the name of the other ship. It was called the George Law. It was a steamer ship. so maybe it went a little faster. And they headed back to New York. Okay. And there they safely returned and made it all the way to Boston. And on March the 10th, less than a month after arriving in port, she gave birth to a son who she named Joshua. Okay, so then they made it back. Within just a few weeks, she had the baby. Then in July, this was in March. They made it back in March, okay? But then in July, Joshua Patton died.
Oh, shoot.
So he left behind his wife and his baby, and he died of tuberculosis. Marianne was given $1,399 from a fund for her relief set up by the Boston Courier. Okay, so she had the $1,000 reward, but then she got another $1,399 for a fund for her relief to live on, basically, as a widow with a baby from the Boston Courier. Okay, so that's all I have printed. One of my sheets didn't print out, but the end of the story is that she herself only lived a few more years, and then she died.
I was say she was young when she died, wasn't she?
Yep. She died at the age of 23.
Shoot.
In 1861. Okay, so Joshua died in 1857. So she died 4 years later when she was only 23. 23 years old, but she got married when she was 15. I mean, she'd already been around the world, been married, had a baby, all this, and then died at the age of 23. Let's see a picture of Mary. She is, that's her, I believe. Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
This is Marianne Brown Patton. She's very pretty.
She's very pretty.
And here she is all in black. I wonder if this is after
the funeral.
Joshua had already died. But I don't know. I don't have the year for this photo.
She's very pretty.
Yeah, I do actually. This was 1857, and he died in 1857. So yeah, I'd say this was right after he died.
Well, because they wore black for months, didn't they? When they mourned.
Yeah. Yeah, but she was a very pretty lady, a very smart lady, a very strong lady. I like her.
Me too. Whatever happened to her child?
I don't know. I don't know if she still has descendants. I'm not sure. I do know that she was the inspiration for a novel by Douglas Kelly, and it was called The Captain's Wife.
Oh, really?
The Captain's Wife. If you guys are readers, want to read a novel, she was the inspiration for it. Of course, it's a novel, so it's not the true story, but she inspired it. And she's also got a hospital named after her at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point, New York. They named the hospital after her. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So that is the story of Marianne Brown Patton.
I like Marianne.
I like Marianne too. Okay.
You got another one?
I got another one. This one is about a woman named Pauline Metternich-Sander. And she was one of the most famous women in Europe.
Ooh, really?
Mm-hmm. I wish I could speak other languages because she was known as La Belle Laide. La Belle Laide. Or the beautiful ugly, the tall, the bulldog-faced, loud man-sized voiced, cigar-smoking, pheasant-shooting Austrian princess is what other people called her.
Are you kidding me?
Uh-uh.
Oh, how funny. Is she royalty?
She is. So she was born, here's a picture of her.
Let me see
Let's
this
see a picture.
lady. Oh, well, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, isn't she beautiful?
That's not what I was expecting.
No.
Ooh, I love that picture.
Yeah, you can leave that up for a minute while I talk about her
Yes.
time. She was born on February the 25th of 1836 in Vienna, and she was born into the Hungarian noble family of Sandor de Slavinska. Her father was Count Morik Sander de Slavinska, and her mother was Princess Leontine von Metternich-Winneberg. Okay, so she has a very interesting story. So in 1856, Princess Pauline married Prince Richard von Metternich. And in the 1860s, during her husband's tenure as Austrian ambassador to the court of Napoleon III, she made quite a splash in Paris. Pauline became best friends with Empress Eugenie, and on one occasion, the two of them slipped out of the royal palace together, dressed as men.
Oh, my gosh.
So she knew that to sneak out, she couldn't just walk out of the palace. She couldn't look like that, and she couldn't just walk out of there. They weren't going to let her go, and she probably wasn't safe. But her and her friend Eugenie realized if they dressed like men, no one would know. She liked to perform handstands, and she referred to herself as the fashionable monkey. But in French. La singe à la mode, maybe? I don't know.
Well, that sounds much better in French.
Le singe à la mode. I don't know. There's people that can speak French that are watching, and they're like, what are you saying?
You are butchering the French language.
I'm sorry. Let's see. Parisian women's fashion in the 1860s revolved around huge quantities of crinoline, and they all were like big puffy dresses, you know. Mm-hmm. And then at this time also clergymen or the pastors, the preachers in the church also debated about whether to charge women extra space when they came in, because some of them would take up like 2 or 3 pews with all of their
dresses.
Uh-huh.
Upcharging even back then.
But anyway, Pauline was a amateur actress, a singer, and a dancer, which was kind of unheard of back then, to be a royal and also be an actress or singer or dancer. Mm-hmm. You know, they just wanted these noble ladies to just sit and be pretty and really not. They were bored out of their minds, many of them. Okay, she loved new music, and in 1860, she put in a word with the Emperor Napoleon for a young German composer that she was championing. She wanted this guy to come, and his name was Richard Wagner. Okay, so she was like, she told Napoleon, let this guy play.
Yeah.
The Emperor had never heard of him, but Pauline twisted his arm to get the Paris Opera to stage Wagner. But this is the part that I thought was really interesting about her. Princess Pauline was one of the very few ladies to have taken part in a duel.
Really?
Yes. And this is something I never heard of.
Funny.
They're called petticoat duels.
So it was with another female?
Mm-hmm.
Females dueled.
Mm-hmm. Petticoat duels between 2 women. They've been recorded in history, but usually they were fought over a man.
Now that's a switch. Mm-hmm. Usually it's 2 men fighting over a female, but women actually fought over men.
They did. But this particular duel was a falling out between Princess Pauline and Countess Kilmansegg, I don't know, in 1892. But it was not over a man. It was over a mundane matter. This is hilarious. It concerned the floral arrangements for the Vienna musical and theatrical exhibition.
So we're going to duel over flowers.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Floral arrangements.
Uh-huh. Yep. And
I mean, I'm assuming they're like real men. I mean, like duel like men with real guns and everything.
Well, I believe they used swords.
Swords?
Yes. They were using swords. And let me see. I got part of my paper here cut off. But yeah.
What do you do? Charge each other?
I think so. And I don't think this Pauline was scared of anything.
She must have not have been.
But she was also called the hostess with the mostest. That's kind of where the
that phrase comes
phrase. It goes back to her. Well, shoot, I'm not going to be able to find that. That story.
What happened, though? Do you know what happened in the story?
Well, I believe they both lived. But I have the end of the story. I just cut it off when I printed it, so it might take me a minute to find it. But I'll go on with the rest of the stuff I have on her. She gave a ball in Paris on January the 7th of 1860, and she held balls every year for 50 years. So she was known as the hostess in Paris. And have you ever looked back at some of those Paris parties in that time frame and what those women wore? It was insane. Like, their outfits were so
I don't know
showy.
I don't know how they. Oh yeah, they were low cut.
Major low cut.
Well, the French have always been a little risque, but
yeah. So she held these big parties, and was that her? Yeah. Okay.
Did you find it?
Yes.
Good. I got to hear the end of this story. Good. She's looking for it.
Yep.
We got it?
I don't know why my printer cut a little bit off of the last story too.
That's weird. I don't know. I don't understand.
Okay, it cut off the funniest part of the story, the part that I really wanted to tell you guys.
Well, do you want us to take a commercial break and then come
hilarious.
Right back?
Yeah, let's take a commercial break and then I'll tell you, because
and then we'll finish
this
the
duel
story.
is something else. Okay.
I got to hear this.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take a commercial break, then we'll finish the story. Okay. We'll be right back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Jimmy ordered lumber, doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, Jimmy ordered guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. So I'm in the middle of this story about this Princess Pauline, and my printer cut off the funniest part of the story. But okay, so she was involved in this what they call a petticoat duel with another woman. It was over floral arrangements. It wasn't over a man. Apparently, they had nothing more important things to think
discuss
about
than floral arrangements.
Yeah. So, the choice of weapon was swords, and they both fought topless.
What?
You heard me. They both fought topless. They had this duel in, I don't know, it was France in the 1860s. And so they both, I'm telling you, they were risque outfits anyway. Everything was pretty well shown anyway. But yeah, so they fought in this duel together topless. So what happened? What got cut? Okay. Princess Pauline received a slight wound on her nose, and the Countess received a wound on her arm.
So the Countess was going after the princess's face.
Yeah, probably.
How do you...
But it was important, man. This was about floral arrangements. Okay, but then the article goes on to say, obviously, Princess Pauline was judged the winner.
Yes.
Okay, so she won the duel.
So she got what floral arrangements she wanted.
I guess so.
I'm thinking instead of dueling, just who's paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's paying gets the last choice. That's
I don't know. Okay,
I'm
so
just,
she
I'm
was
just
known
picturing
for
it.
Yeah, crazy, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you think
it's a
about
little
duels,
weird.
but you don't think about women dueling for one, and you don't
Especially
think about
topless.
and you don't think about them doing it topless. And then it makes you wonder, like, who was there? How many people watched?
Oh my god.
I don't know. Okay, so she was known as the hostess with the mostest. She threw great big huge parties where she converted whole gardens into ballrooms. She was big about lights. She put lights in the trees and the houses all around. She probably would have loved white Christmas lights if they would have been invented then. She organized fiacre festivals. I don't know what that word is. I've never seen it in my life. FIACRE, firecracker festivals. I don't know.
No clue.
Anyway, this is where the whole fashionable society cavorted around town in carriages. And these occasions had exotic names like the Japanese Cherry Blossom Festival or the Spring Festival in a futuristic village and the Mars Festival. So she invented all these really cool party themes and then would drive people around in these carriages. She held a gold and silver ball in 1902. So, she went on for years and years. I mean, now she's in the 1900s and she's still having these big parties. At the Gold and Silver Ball, the theater was flooded in gold and silver light, and the ceilings were hung with silvery gray muslin bedecked with golden stars. The theater boxes were lined with silver and gold trinkets. That'd be a fun idea to have at the theater.
Yeah.
We should copy her idea and have a silver and gold ball.
That's right.
Everything draped in silver and gold.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so she actually lived to see the fall of the Austrian monarchy after the Great War, which would have been World War I. So she didn't die until 1921 at the age of 85.
85. Did she have children?
I don't know about that. I don't think so. She also had to bear the indignity of being forced to sell the carriage in which she had once paraded around Vienna.
What, she go broke?
After World War I think the monarchy in Austria was stripped of their rights, I think, is what happened. So she became a princess no more. Okay.
How crazy is that?
Yes.
I can't even believe that. I like her, too.
Uh-huh. Okay, I have one more story.
Okay. Is it a short one?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. It is. And let me pull it up on my phone instead of what I printed since my printer's not doing right. Okay, I'm going to talk about the most stingy woman in history. Do you have it? I mean, do you know anybody that you think would qualify? Most stingy woman in history?
Well, I do, but I wouldn't say it on air.
Okay. Well, it's probably not the same woman. This woman her name is Hetty Green. Okay. And her wealth was estimated at more than $2.3 billion. Okay. She was born in 1835.
Wow.
In America. And she was the only daughter of a wealthy businessman.
I'd say.
She inherited from her father a fortune estimated at $7.5 million. Okay, so she started off with $7.5 million. So how did she get up to billions? Because she never spent a dime. She never spent a penny. When she was 21 years old, she moved to live in New York to invest her money in Wall Street and was called, this was her nickname on Wall Street, the Wicked Witch of Wall Street.
Ooh.
Is what everyone called her. So she was not well loved. She was not well liked. But she was smart in the sense that she knew to invest. And she had been left this money, this fortune from her father, and she wanted to invest it. Okay. And then she did what other women do in that time period to get money is they marry for money. Okay. So she married a millionaire like herself, but she still lived on leftover cakes and broken biscuits in grocery stores. And she would argue every day at the grocery store to get a free bone for her dog. She wouldn't even buy dog food.
Well, what's the point of investing and making money if you're never going to spend it?
She was a miserable woman.
She was horrible, and I bet she left it. Oh, yeah. I don't think I like her.
No, this one isn't likable. The other two were likable.
She sounds
the other
like a
two were
horrible
likable.
person.
This one, And this article, I tried to pull up other stuff, but I didn't find anything about her anywhere that was like from a different perspective that was like she actually was a really nice person. It's just some people.
No, she sounds horrible.
No, I don't think anyone liked her. So, I mean, can you imagine not even buying your dog food? You just go to the store and argue every day for a free bone. Like, I know you got him back there. I know you just butchered that cow. Let me have the bone. What are you going to do with it anyway? Throw it out? You going to throw that bone out? I'll take it. Like, she was a dumpster diver.
What the
back
world?
in the day. But she was a millionaire, and so was her husband.
Okay. I wonder where they lived. They had to have lived
they were in
New York.
Yeah. So, I'm going to save this part for in a minute because it's just unreal. Okay. She never spent a penny. So it was said that she never used hot water. She wore a black dress that she did not change until it was completely wore out. And then she would get another black dress and wear it until it was completely worn out. And she lived on eating a pie that only cost 2 cents.
Oh my God.
So she would only eat the 2 cents pie. This part is horrible. She caused her son to amputate his leg because when he broke his leg. Her son broke his leg and she refused to take him to the doctor. And she insisted on not spending any money. And so she looked for free medical care for this leg that was badly broken, not just like slightly broken, like badly broken. And he ended up having to have it amputated because she waited so long to get him medical attention. Okay, so she sewed herself a pair of underpants when she was 16 years old, and she did not change them or buy new until the day of her death. She never bought different underwear. Can you show that picture, please,
She wore the
Ty?
same underwear forever. What on earth? That's her?
That's her, and that's her underwear.
That is a weird woman. Good. What's her name again?
Hetty Green is her name. And she wore those every day since she was 16 and she obviously bought some quality muslin to hold up that many years because she didn't die until she was, 81. But yeah, I mean, she just apparently repaired them and tied on the sides and like that couldn't have been comfortable.
She's psychotic.
Yeah. She's tight. She was so incredibly...
I have never heard of anybody.
People don't be like her. I don't care if you're a little tight, but this is extreme. This is insanity.
Buy new underwear.
Yes. If you're watching this and your underwear look like that, go to Walmart. I insist. So she died in 1916 at the age of 81 in New York City, and she was entered into the Guinness Book of World Records as the most stingy person in the world. The cause of her death was a stroke due to a quarrel with her maid because her maid asked for a raise. Her maid made next to no money. She paid her help very, very meager salaries. And this maid had the audacity to ask for more money, and they got into a quarrel, and Hetty Green had a stroke and died. But she left behind a huge fortune.
And who got it? Hopefully the kid with one leg.
Yeah, no kidding. Her children did not inherit her extreme stinginess, but rather they were generous to the point that her daughter built a free hospital for people with the money. A hospital that people could come to for free.
So the children were decent human beings, unlike the mother.
And I don't know what happened to that. I don't know. I don't have any information on him either. But I would think it would be very difficult to be married to a man like that or to a woman like that. And he probably had no idea when he married her that she wasn't going to change her underwear for the entire marriage.
Well, at least she did give her kids. I figured you were going to say she did something really stupid and like gave it.
No.
Well, she's not going to give it to anybody else. And she did inherit herself. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. What makes somebody be that way?
I don't know if it's a mental illness or just like what, but like she was.
I'm going with mental illness.
Seriously, the most stingy person in the world, and to the point that it hurt others.
Well, yes,
that's bad.
Here you are worth billions of dollars, and the poor grocer is just trying to make ends meet. And you're fighting over a bone.
Yeah.
I'm not stingy at all.
And your maid is doing all of your work for you, and you refuse to pay her good wages because you're selfish.
I wonder where they live. They must have lived pretty high.
I bet they lived on like Park Avenue or something.
I bet they did too. So she probably paid for a house.
I'll try. I can Google that real quick. Or
Yeah,
Ty,
look and see.
Ty, look and see if you can figure out where Hetty Green lived in New York City in 1860s or
How do you
whatever
spell
that was.
Hetty?
Hetty.
I like that name.
Hetty.
Hetty Green.
Yeah, but anyway, so that is the story of 3 very different women from history that all had what I think to be fascinating stories. And when I come across stuff like that, I just kind of stack it over to the side of like, hey, one day I might talk about this on the show. And yeah, I thought all 3 of those were great. So I'm like, I'm just going to do an episode on strong women. It's been a while since we had a strong woman episode. So
Yeah. I like all the female. I like the female episodes we got.
Yeah, me too.
Did you find anything, Ty? Ooh, where'd she?
Oh, he's going to try to
gonna pull it up. Let's see what we've got here. I'm curious.
Yeah, let's see if we can go to a street view. I bet she lived in a big old, like, brownstone or something. And only if the husband purchased it.
He probably
because
purchased it.
She might have lived in a shack if it was up to her.
She
probably did.
I'm surprised she had a maid.
Me too.
I'm surprised she paid for a maid.
I'm surprised about that too, but it was probably
okay. What do we got here?
necessary.
That looks like an old part of New York, don't it?
Well, she didn't die until what I say, 1921, or is that the other lady?
Isn't it crazy? What Ty's like maneuvering this right here?
Yes, you guys are.
That's crazy how you can do the street views.
She died in 1916.
1916.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what it looks like. Like that house right there?
Here we go. That was her house in New York. That's how it looks today.
They must have turned it into a museum.
I wonder if it is a museum. Well, if you're in New York anytime soon, go check it out. Let us know. Report back. I'd love to hear the story. And maybe the underwear hanging inside there. I don't know.
Well, I would hope they are. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ty.
Thank you. Yeah, that gives us an idea.
Yeah. So anyway, 3 great stories. Okay, but let's end this show with something funny. Some deep thought by Jack Handy.
Okay. Of all the warning sounds that the animals make, I think the one that's the least effective on me is a kind of clicking noise. Deep thoughts by Jack Handy.
Deep thoughts. He's always got something.
He's always got something.
What a hoot.
He's a hoot. That's it for our show today.
So anyway, you can find us on Wabash Catch TV, channel 100, daily at 11 a.m. and again at 3 p.m. All of our episodes are on YouTube, so if you missed one or you want to go back and watch an old one, they are all there. You can find us all. Our YouTube page is just type in Beth and Stacey on YouTube, and we will pop up, and you can find our channel. Click on our channel, and then all of our videos are listed there. You can also like and follow us on Facebook or reach out to us at, by the way, with Beth and Stacey at gmail.com.
That's it for today.
So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time.
God bless you and have a great day. Thank